Hi, you're listening to Abacadabra Radio. I'm Abby, your host, and on this podcast we talk about manifestations, meditations, timeline jumping, tarot card insights, astrological insights, literally whatever comes up. Happy to have you guys here for the ride.
My friends, here we are back with another episode. This one I'm very excited for because I literally in real time am cracking open like a whole new way to look at reality, frequency, vibration, manifesting, conscious creation, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just so freaking excited to like dive into this and talk to you guys about it. And yeah, this is going to be a really good, really maybe fast talking episode. I apologize if it's quick talking, but I have a lot of ideas that are forming through my mind right now, so I'm going to get it all out, and we're going to see how this goes. To preface this, I am on day 5 of a 30-day 30-day meditation challenge, where I'm challenging myself for 30 days to meditate once a day, at least once a day for at least 10 minutes a day. Again, day 5. I've done something like I've never done a challenge like this before, but I've meditated for longer stretches than this, but now I feel like that I'm consciously taking the time every day to do it. Hopefully these sort of insights happen more and more, because I'm going to just be like more in tune with myself and more in tune with reality and more in tune with just like all that is. We'll see. I don't know. Like maybe I was just in the right frequency today, so that's probably why this is coming through. Yesterday I really felt myself lock in with receiving energy, like connecting with the energy of just receiving, and I think that's why this transmission is coming through right now. I'm gonna stop blabbing on. If you want to follow that meditation journey, you can follow my TikTok, and yeah, we're gonna actually get started now. So the way that it is said reality works, from Bashar, from Abraham Hicks, from anybody, I don't know, a bunch of different people that I've listened to over the years, is that time's not linear. That reality is not linear, and we see time as like progression forward or linearly because that's us like processing change. But if you've listened to me at all, you know that I say, believe, whatever, that we are we are constantly shifting to a different vibration over and over and over again. And I view time as a bubble, not a line. So you could be at the top right corner of the bubble, you could be in the middle of the bubble, next you could be on the bottom of the bubble, the next you could be, like, I don't see it as a linear thing. And this is like the next piece of that puzzle, so I'm really excited for it. In different books and in different things that I've seen talking about how time is not linear, they say that it's like a film strip. And I've like been able to like I've been able to fathom that like it's a film strip. But today is when I'm really realizing, like, if you think of a film strip, every like bit that goes through, like every slide is its own reality. I've heard that before, but now I'm truly understanding it. So every film strip is its own reality. I just said that. And we get the idea of like linear time because we're constantly shifting into a new one over and over and over again. All the time, whether you're consciously doing it or not. So every second, like think about like going through 60 different film strips in 1 minute. That's 1 second. That's like our idea of time. That's how we are shifting. And in each one, there are things that change, like the sun going down or coming up, or the moon coming up, or weather changing, or like aging over like long periods of time. That's how we are. That's how we perceive time in different ways, and like the clock's changing and stuff like that. We need that as humans, and living in a 3D reality, without that we just like wouldn't live in a 3D reality. But there are an infinite number of film strips, an infinite number of realities that you could tap into at any time. So this is when the film strip becomes that bubble of time where it's not linear. You're shifting up, you're shifting down, you're shifting diagonal, you're shifting sideways, you're shifting backwards all the time. And if you were to think of one film strip, like, here's one film strip, here's another film strip, here's another film strip, here's another film strip, another one. You're constantly changing. So you standing like you in whatever position you're in right now, wherever your arm is right now, is one film strip. And then as you're moving your arm, that's like the film moving, that's time moving, that's you shifting. But it's happening so fast and we're so like not conscious of it happening that we're on autopilot shifting all the time. Like we're not like consciously doing it. But when you can take a few seconds to like stop and let yourself like fathom like changing into the same, maybe like looking film strip, but a different reality occurring, that is how you tap into that alternate reality of you living a different like experience. Again, I am trying to like fathom this right now as I'm recording it. It might sound like absolute garbage and I might never ever release this episode. I have no idea. We'll see what happens when I listen back to it. Basically, you can be in a film strip that looks exactly the same, but the one difference could be that you have an extra $5 in your pocket, or you have an extra $60,000 in your bank account, or you have a different car in the driveway. Everything else can look the same, but that one bit of the film strip, like that one bit of the reality, can easily change because you can easily shift into that one. Obviously, like, you have to have a belief system of, like, consciously shifting, so a good way to kind of get used to it is, like, as you're moving through your day every once in a while, like, think of yourself in that, like, moving time reel. I'm literally seeing a film being projected and, like, feeling, like, the shift of moment to moment, every new reality. And then, like, every so often I'll find myself, like, again, this is within the last, like, 20 minutes that this has been happening, so we'll see how this goes. Every so often, like, within the last 20 minutes, I keep coming back to the idea of, like, oh, okay, now I'm shifting timelines. Like, I can be shifting timelines. I'm shifting timelines right now. Like, everything's moving. And putting myself in that mindset of, like, being in a film reel, kind of. And, like, hearing, like, the clicking of the film strips as the time is changing, as the reality is shifting. And it's pretty interesting. It's definitely, like, if this is the first episode that you are listening to, I'm sorry. I'm not crazy, I swear. This is just, like, a new way that I'm understanding this. And again, I don't know if it's going to make sense to other people. And, like, obviously it's going to take time for me to, like, play around with just feeling like I'm shifting. And I think that's going to be what's key in, like, easily manifesting, easily consciously creating, because I can shift into a reality that looks like this, but, like, something behind the scenes is happening that I don't, like, lining up for me, or like, a new opportunity is in my inbox right now. Let's say, like, that's, like, what's happening. Like, I'm in a reality that looks exactly the same, but I have an email that is going to, like, do great things for me. I don't know. Like, that's not actually happening right now. So, it's consistent vibration, consistent conscious, like, making sure that you are consciously aligned. Like, it's not just about thinking about it. You have to, like, you could have to change a full belief system about time right now to get this to work for you. And I think that that's something that I'm going to be working on. Not that I've, like, seen time as linear for any, like, recent length of time, but I think that this new concept of the way that I'm seeing it is going to take a little bit of time to integrate. But again, this is a download that I just really wanted to, like, share with people and record in some way before I forgot about it. I wasn't going to forget about it. But as I'm talking about this, like, I can feel my own, like, vibratory frequency. It's very, very, like, it is very high right now. Not in a bad way. It's just, like, a different level of, like, what I have experienced in the last couple of weeks. I haven't been in this, like, it almost feels manic. I will say that sometimes when you get these, like, downloads, like, it does almost feel like you're, like, in a manic state. But besides just, like, this energy coming through, there's nothing else that I, like, feel like I need to do right now. This feels very, like, internal shifting sort of stuff, like, and then once I get the idea of inspired action, then I'll start moving through that and seeing where that leads. But a lot of what I've been trying to do lately is just, like, step back and let the universe do the work for me and try not to do the heavy lifting. And that's hard because I love having control over things. I'm a bit of a control freak sometimes. And this spiritual awakening has been and exercise in letting go of that. Is it easy? No. Is it possible? Yes. And that's what I'm opening up to. So yeah, if you can view time as not linear, as that like orb of time that we're constantly shifting through, if you can get the mindset of we are constantly shifting whether we want to or not, and seeing it as a film reel and seeing it as something that is infinite. So there's millions and trillions and billions. There's an infinite number of film reels that look exactly the same with slight differences to the one that you're in right now. And all you have to do is choose the one that you want to be in. It's not mindfully choosing, it's consciously choosing and vibrationally choosing the one that you want to be in. And the only way that you're going to see your reality change is if you consistently do that. And if you do it enough so that your reality lag because your consciousness is faster than the film reel. So the stuff that you are vibrationally putting out, like your vibration is quicker than the film reel. It's faster than how quickly we're shifting. So reality is a lag, which I've said a million times. So once you can like tip the scale of like having like $10,000 in your bank account to having like do a baby step, do 11,000, do 10,500, like do like a small amount, like instead of having like a white car. Well, I don't know. I'm not trying to change my car, so because I love my car because I finally got it back. But I don't know. Play around with it if you're trying to manifest a new car. If you're like manifesting like a different like interior, I don't know. Like for me, like those physical things, I'm not trying to play around with right now. Maybe once I get good at this stuff, we'll see how it goes. Or if you're trying to manifest more clients, or if you're trying to manifest more work, into a reality that you have like that, like one more person or an email or like something small that can get you into the mindset of like, oh, okay, I can consistently, consciously choose that new reality. So once you consistently line that energy up, and it has to be like within your whole being, it's not something that you just do with your head, it's something you have to do like energetically, and it has to feel right, and you have to like align with it and allow it to happen, and allow things that you don't like to keep moving. Everything that you don't like that's happening is still allowed to happen, and you not liking it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It could be showing you something very, very important about yourself. It probably is showing you something very, very important about yourself. So it's important to pay attention to those things that you are trying to push against, because they're teaching you things. I'm going to play around with this, and I will either add a part 2 to this episode, or I'll just do another episode depending on when I listen back to this and decide to put it out and how I play around with this. So, I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed my ramble. I feel very good about it. And, of course, if you have any questions or reading requests or stories that you want to tell about your own shifting, email it all to abacadabrapod@gmail.com. As always, the email is in the show notes. Okay, until next time, this is Abby, signing off.